Okay, we're going to be starting a new project here. So we're going to be working on our 1964 Herreshoff dinghy made by Cape Cod Shipbuilders here in Wareham, Mass. And the dinghy is outstanding. It's a great rowing dinghy and it motors beautifully. However, the only thing that we're really lacking at this point is a good rub rail. The rub rail looks a little long in the tooth. It's really hard. We really don't like it. So we want to go with a new rub rail, a softer one. So we had a couple choices that I found. We have this one. This is the Davis one you can get pretty much anywhere. It's has foam in the center with a sleeve around it, and it would fit perfectly. The only thing I don't like about it is it's got like a lot of extra play in the material around it, and it's a little floppy. And I got this one. Both of these came from Hamilton Marine up in Maine. Here, this one is a much harder foam, and the jacket is actually glued to that, where it's loose on this one. So this one, when it sits on the edge, it covers the old edging perfectly, and it doesn't flop around, and it really, really fits nicely. So I'm real happy with that. So I'm glad I got a sample from them. Hamilton Marine will send you the samples free before I go and drop like $400 on edging. They will send you a sample. And then I have the hardware. You use number 6 screws with finishing washers. And I got those at Bolt Depot. Really good prices, really good quality, fast shipping. So, and here is the edging. I got a couple extra feet than I need, but I'd rather have too much than too little. So I just wanted to give you an introduction of the next project. I'm going to get this done before we launch in a couple weeks. So this shouldn't take too long, other than drilling about 250 holes for the screws. Other than that, it should be relatively straightforward. The only gotcha is going to be going around the back corner where it is pretty tight. I may have to cut some of the foam out of it to make the corner a little bit better, but we'll tackle that when we get to it. But that's where we stand now. Okay, we're about to get started here. I just want to show you the tools that I will use initially. I'm going to be using clamps. I have 4 clamps, spring clamps here. I'm going to use this to hold the rub rail onto the boat, and I will be using the hot knife to actually cut the rub rail where I need to cut it. And I will also be using what's called seam stick. It's basically a double-sided tape that I will just use to secure the top edge to the rub rail to kind of keep it in place while I place the screws. That's really the only reason I'm going to be using it. There's really no directions with any of this stuff. I'm kind of making it up as I go. So that's where we stand now. Those are the basic tools that I'm going to be using. I will probably use the knife to trim back some of the foam that's on the inside where I need to terminate it at either end. I will probably cut back a few inches, fold it over, and then screw it at the bow and at the stern to terminate it onto the boat, so you don't see any of the foam. So that's where we stand. Okay, I did find something interesting out with this. I actually had an idea of trying the heat gun, and I heated up the outer jacket a little bit. It's still, I mean, it's not even really warm to the touch, but I heated it up enough, and that was definitely enough to give me some advantage to get the glue separated from the foam. So that's going to be the way I'm going to go. And I'm literally just heating it up a little bit. Really not a lot at all. It's not discoloring the fabric, which was what I was afraid of. So I'm happy with that. Shut that off. And let's see how this works here. It's definitely warm to the touch, but you can see this is coming off beautifully now. So you can see where I cut it. That was going real slow and it didn't really work too well, but heating it up definitely made a difference. So there we go. That's probably all I'll cut back. Okay, here we are. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be cutting the foam off. Because we don't need this. We're back. So what I'm going to do here is, this edge really looks pretty bad, as you can tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a hot knife, to cut through this, make a nice finished edge, and it'll seal it as well. So here we go. Just pulling the trigger on this. So it gets hot really, really fast. So here we go. Problem is, if you make it too hot, then it'll burn it and make it look black. So let's see here. But at least I have enough material here if I make a mistake. That's how I got a little black there, but it's not the end of the world. A little shorter. So I marked it. And I might actually have to take more foam off. I thought I took enough off, but I don't think I did. Don't burn yourself. Okay, let's try that out for size. So what I'll do is, actually that doesn't look half bad. Definitely have to take some more foam off. So you don't really even notice the edge there. This will wrap around the front. I'll put a screw here. Definitely need to take some foam off, but I'm wrapped around enough that I can screw the bottom in, and then the other piece will come in over here and cover this top edge. So this will have a little bit of material in front, a little bumper. So let me get the heat gun so I can remove a little more foam. That's probably enough. Oh yeah, that's the ticket. Pull a little more out, and I will cut it. This foam is very, very dense. Much firmer than the Davis. Not that it's good or bad, it's just much stiffer, and it just has a better look that I think will look better. Okay, so here's where we are. That's the front. I leave all the material out. It looks like that, which I might probably end up doing. Let's see here if I get it. There we go. That looks pretty good, and then the other material will wrap around here, so this whole edge will be covered. So, okay, I didn't film it, but I put the first screw in. So what I did was I marked where I wanted the screw to go on the material, and then the screw did go through the material nicely, and the tip of the screw marked the boat where I needed to drill a hole. So then I drilled a hole just under a ½ inch deep, and then I screwed the screw into the boat, and it looks absolutely perfect. And I did actually cut too much foam off, so I put a small segment of foam back in. You can't even tell. So now it wraps around nicely. There's not a lot I can do about the fitment around the bronze piece here, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Maybe I'll put some boat life or something there to fill in the gap to make it look more finished, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. The main thing is to protect the mothership from dings, and this will keep the bronze piece away from the mothership as well. So when the material's across it, the only thing I have to worry about is the ring here, but it is what it is. So that's where I am now. So I just need to put a screw down here on the bottom, and again it covers the old bumper beautifully, so that'll go there, and I'll put a screw here, and then the material will wrap around. I'll put a screw here. I may have to put a dart or something on the center, or just leave it because it's not the end of the world. And then I think I have to put a screw in like every 3 or 4 inches. I'll have to calculate to see if I have enough screws. I should have enough screws. I have 300. So that's where we are now. I will now put like another screw up top, and then I'll put a couple screws down here, and that'll be it for today. So there we are. Okay, I got a few screws in. So here's the top. I think it looks pretty good. This is going to wrap around. Sorry about the lighting. And on the bottom, also looks excellent. I get some better lighting here. The only thing I did find is this particular screw is a little short, so I need to get a longer number 6 screw, because the old rub rail is actually pulling away from the hull, so it's a little bit more of a gap. So, but otherwise it's looking really, really good. So this is how it's going to look. There's going to be some buckling because it's not a flat surface, so it's going to be fine. So this will look excellent. I'm real happy with this. So now that I got it started, I will actually show you the drilling process now that I kind of have down what I want to do. So that's where we are. Thanks for watching.